My beloved, my child of golden starlight, my divine spark breathing in this human form. I'm here. Archangel Michael is here. And I didn't come to you by accident. You might think this is just another moment. Just another message. But in truth, heaven itself is holding its breath, watching to see what you'll do. Because if you listen, if you stay, the miracle you've prayed for will begin moving in just 2 minutes. God says, "This one I've chosen. This one has been through fire, and still glows. And that one is you." Michael says, "They tried to break you. But they failed. They tried to curse you. But grace covered you before their words even landed. You are not reading this because you're lucky. You are here because a divine appointment has arrived. This message is sacred. And if you close your eyes or skip it, you might miss what God has been planning behind the scenes for years. Wait. Feel that heartbeat? That's heaven tapping at your soul's door. That's your future shaking in its skin, ready to bloom from the dirt they buried you in. But you must stay. Don't move. Don't scroll. The miracle needs your stillness. You are about to witness something few ever get to see. A secret heaven only reveals when your name echoes in the sky. And beloved, your name was just called. But before we go further, I need you to pause for a second. Because if you're feeling something, if your heart is racing, if your soul feels like it's remembering something it forgot, that's not a coincidence. That's confirmation. That's activation. That's alignment. And now, a quick whisper from the heavens. Subscribe to Heaven's Whispers. This channel was born for you. Not for everyone, but for those with ears that can hear beyond the noise. If your spirit feels this pull, subscribe now. Don't skip this. It's your spiritual lifeline. Because the messages to come will only get more divine. Now breathe. Because what's coming next is not easy to say, but it is necessary. There's something trying to block your miracle. Yes, right now. It knows your time has come. It sees the light forming around you. It hears the angels whispering, "Prepare the way." And this dark force is terrified. Because when your miracle arrives, everything it used to control will be shattered. My beloved, there are angels with swords standing over your name. There are seals breaking open in the spirit, releasing waves of restoration. But only for those who stay long enough to receive. You are not forgotten. You are not abandoned. You are not average. God says, "You are the reason I delayed other things. You are the reason heaven rearranged timelines. You are the reason I sent Michael down tonight. This isn't poetry. This is prophecy. This is real. And I know. You've been waiting. Praying. Crying where no one could see. Laughing when you were bleeding. But tonight, it shifts. There is a scroll unrolling in heaven with your name glowing on it. And do you know what it says? It says, "It is time." The hidden miracle is moving. The secret favor is being released. The blessings with your fingerprint on them have just been dispatched. But this message? It's your agreement. It's your yes. It's your I accept the shift. And you must say yes now. Because in 2 minutes, there will be a movement. A phone call. A message. A realization. A vision. A confirmation. Archangel Michael says, "They won't believe what's coming for you. But heaven will testify it was always meant for you." They said it was impossible. But they didn't know your name was carved into the palms of God. They said it was over. But they didn't know the archangel had been circling your house since last night. They said it wouldn't happen. But they didn't know heaven had a 2-minute countdown. And this message is part of it. So now I ask you again. Will you leave this and miss your hour of visitation? Or will you stay and walk through the portal God opened just for you? Because if you do, you'll feel it. Even now. Your body is tingling. Your eyes are getting heavy. Your heart is pulling. That's because something ancient is being awakened. Something powerful is being activated. And I can't say this enough. Don't tell anyone. This is only for you. This is your private prophecy. This is your miracle appointment. This is the divine transaction you've been waiting for. The heavens are loud tonight. But they're only whispering to one person. You. So don't skip. Don't look away. Keep reading. Because by the end of this message, you will never be the same again. My Divine One. You weren't supposed to find this by accident. You were led. Led by the whispers that wouldn't let you sleep last night. Led by the ache you couldn't explain today. Led by the stirring in your spirit that keeps telling you, something's coming. And it is. But let me tell you something you need to hear before heaven pulls the final curtain. There are miracles that only come when you're ready to receive them. And right now, your spirit is more ready than you realize. The delay wasn't denial. The silence wasn't abandonment. It was divine incubation. It was God hiding your blessing where no one could curse it. Even you. Archangel Michael says, I have been circling your name in light for days. Each time you almost gave up, I stood beside you. Each night they whispered lies into your mind, I covered your pillow with heavenly hands. You have no idea what was being kept from you, just to protect you. But now? Now is different. Now the gate is open. Now the scroll has unrolled. Now the page has turned. And if you miss this moment, you'll feel it. Not as punishment, but as a silence too loud to ignore. A silence that says, you were right there, but you didn't say yes. My child, you've survived seasons that broke others. You've carried pain with dignity. You've held on to hope with bleeding hands. And heaven has seen all of it. Not a tear lost. Not a breath wasted. Not a single night where you cried yourself to sleep went unseen. That's why this moment matters so much. Because God is not sending comfort anymore. He's sending completion. The thing you prayed for isn't just being prepared. It's being dispatched. And when it arrives, it won't knock twice. You must answer now. You must respond in your spirit with fire. Even if no one understands. Even if it scares you. Even if you feel unworthy. God has already declared. You are worthy because I chose you. Archangel Michael says. There was a courtroom in heaven, and your name was on the table. The enemy stood with accusations. But God stood up and shouted, silence. That one is mine. And in that moment, the case closed. My beloved, you've been waiting on confirmation. Here it is. You've been waiting for clarity. This is it. You've been asking, when will it be my time? Now. Not tomorrow. Not next year. Now. And I don't say that lightly. This is not poetic inspiration. This is a heavenly interruption. This is the reason your stomach flipped when you saw this. The reason your heart raced halfway through. Because your soul remembers that this was already written. You're not walking into something new. You're walking into something ancient. A destiny carved in the walls of eternity before your first breath. But here's what I must tell you now. There's a test coming. Before the blessing. Before the miracle appears physically. There will be a test of silence. A test of trust. And God wants to see. Will you still believe when nothing looks different? Will you still praise when the pain hasn't left yet? Will you still open your heart when everything tells you to shut down? Because if you pass it, the floodgates open. And not just with one miracle, but wave after wave of what was held up, delayed, fought against, and hidden. It will all pour into your life like a dam breaking. But first, trust. You must trust the unseen more than the seen. You must trust what God whispered more than what life screamed. Because the angels are preparing to release something that won't just bless you. It'll embarrass every voice that ever doubted you. My child, listen to me. They tried to bind you with fear. They used love to manipulate you. They weaponized silence to control you. And they smiled while you struggled. But heaven didn't forget. And heaven never loses. And now, the revenge of God is favor. The revenge of God is miracles. The revenge of God is promotion with no explanation. Your story will make no sense to people. It will offend the ones who counted you out. It will silence the ones who mocked you. Because no one can stop a move of God wrapped in a child He loves. And that child is you. Archangel Michael is still standing here. He says your name over and over again, watching to see if you'll rise into this moment. Or walk away again thinking it's too good to be true. But what if, just once, it really is that good? What if the miracle really is ready? What if this message is the door you've begged to find for years? What if God is not just able, but willing? And what if His eyes are already on your house, your bank account, your body, your family? What if this is the shift you've been asking for? And all you have to do is say, yes, I believe. I will not skip. I will not hide. I will open the door. Because God is no longer asking. He's inviting. He's saying, I dare you to believe in something this beautiful again. I dare you to think miracles still exist. I dare you to remember who you are before the world told you to shrink. And child, if you do, if you step into this moment with trembling, but with faith, the world will watch your life become what they once thought was only a dream. Then breathe, beloved, because this next part, this next sacred part, is where everything begins to shift in the spirit realm. As you read these words, there are angels literally moving through your timeline, through your bloodline, through every closed door and every broken window of your life, sweeping away the dust, the delay, the lies, the curses, the fear, and making room for what's about to pour in. This is not a small shift. This is not a subtle change. This is what heaven calls a divine interruption, a holy disruption, because God is tired of watching you shrink to survive when you were created to rise and rule. You, child of God, have no idea how many enemies just lost power over your life because you chose to open this message and stay. Yes, just by staying, just by reading, just by saying in your heart, I believe this is for me, you opened a portal. You triggered heaven's countdown. You ignited a holy flame under every promise that was sleeping. And now those promises are waking up, furious with light, trembling with glory, and running toward you like a storm of blessings that can no longer be delayed. Can you feel it? The shaking? The unraveling? That is the sound of chains falling off that you didn't even know were still there. That is the sound of old prayers that went quiet being pulled back into God's hands and kissed with fire. That is the sound of you, the real you, stepping out of hiding, out of hurt, out of hesitation, and into the radiant power of who you were always born to be. And beloved, I must say this clearly before you go one breath further, don't tell anyone about this moment. Don't explain it. Don't share it with people who doubt everything sacred. This message is not public. This miracle is not for the crowd. This is between you and God. Archangel Michael says, if you speak too soon, the wrong ears will try to confuse what God just confirmed in your spirit. So guard this moment like treasure. Guard it like the most expensive gem of your lifetime. Because heaven didn't open this for anyone else, it opened it for you. And it will stay open just long enough for you to step through with faith. Just long enough for you to whisper, I accept this breakthrough. Just long enough for the right door to unlock, for the right heart to call your name, for the right financial miracle to come like a flood, for the right healing to invade your body, for the right oil to pour over your head, the kind of oil that marks you as untouchable, unstoppable, and undeniably chosen. Now lean in closer, because what I'm about to say next is heavier than gold. There is someone, right now, asking about you. Someone who shouldn't know your name, who shouldn't even have you in their thoughts, but God placed you in their spirit. And this person? They are being used by heaven to carry the answer to a prayer you forgot you even prayed. They are being stirred. They are being haunted in their sleep to bless you. They are being pushed into position to show up in your life with something in their hands that belongs to your destiny. But listen to this closely, they are waiting for a signal. And this moment, this message, is the trigger. When you receive this fully, when your spirit fully says yes, something releases from the heavens into their heart. Something opens. Something moves. Something that cannot be stopped by distance, by doubt, or by demonic delay. You see, everything is connected. The miracle isn't separate from you, it's looking for you. The favor isn't floating, it's tracing your energy, your words, your faith. That's why Archangel Michael begged God for permission to speak to you like this. That's why this message had to break through every distraction to find you. Because there is a war in the spirit realm over this moment. Over whether you'll receive this and walk through, or shrink back and miss it. That's why you've been so tired. That's why you've been so anxious. That's why strange things have been happening around you, phones glitching, people acting strange, dreams getting intense, because the veil is thin and your miracle is close. But child of light, let me say this with fire, no weapon formed against you shall prosper. And no demon in hell can stop what God has already begun. If you continue reading, if you keep your spirit open, if you stay surrendered and expectant, the miracle will not just show up, it will multiply. What was once one open door will become a hallway of heaven. What was once a single blessing will become a legacy. God is not trying to impress you, He is trying to mark you. He is not just trying to comfort you, He is establishing a throne in your story. You will not just be helped, you will be crowned. You will not just survive, you will testify, and nations will be shaken by your story. And yes, I know, you've been quiet for too long. You've hidden your tears. You've learned to smile when your heart was breaking. You've listened to others talk about their blessings while wondering when your turn would come. And heaven saw it all. God didn't forget. Archangel Michael wrote your name on the scroll that was placed in God's hand this morning. And God said, I want this one to receive a miracle that will bring me glory. One that will silence every accuser. One that will make others turn their hearts back to me. That's why the battle was so heavy this week. That's why the confusion tried to blind you. But now, it breaks. Now, it ends. Now, the floodgates open and every hidden thing will come into the light. Your name will be honored. Your heart will be healed. Your future will be restored. And your enemies? They'll watch. God will prepare a table, not in secret, not in silence, but in front of the very ones who laughed at your delay. And He will serve justice through blessing. He will serve power through peace. He will serve vindication through favor. But first, beloved, you must receive this with your whole heart. You must trust that this isn't a fantasy, it's a forecast. A glimpse of what's already set in motion. And if you try to logic your way out of it, you'll miss it. If you try to figure it out, you'll overthink the miracle. Just receive it. Just rest. Just say yes. Because right now, this very minute, something is happening. Someone's heart is softening. A divine phone call is being scheduled. A locked door is clicking open. And the reason it's happening? Because you dared to stay. You dared to read. You dared to believe. And heaven never ignores that kind of courage. So rest in this fire. Let it warm your bones. Let it awaken your joy. Let it be the reason you stop worrying, stop wondering, and start walking like the chosen soul you've always been. Then come closer, my beloved, closer still, because what I'm about to reveal cannot be heard with the ears alone, it must be absorbed by the soul. There is something shifting beneath your feet right now, something not even the earth can explain. It's not a coincidence that your body feels different, that your heartbeat is louder, that time feels suspended. It's because your name is being spoken in places your feet have not yet touched. It's because your spirit is standing in two realms at once, where you are, and where you're going, and heaven is inviting you to step fully into the second one without fear, without resistance, without delay. Do you feel that? That sense that something unseen is staring straight at you with holy eyes? That's not imagination. That's divine presence. That's glory pressing itself against your atmosphere because it refuses to wait any longer. The miracle is restless. It wants to move. It's begging God for permission to land, but it won't touch down until you completely say yes. Yes with your heart. Yes with your faith. Yes with your silence. Yes with your readiness to be seen, chosen, used, and lifted in front of those who said you never would be. Archangel Michael says, you were born for this moment. Even your delays were part of the plan. Even the betrayals were woven into your crowning. He's seen you at your lowest, at 2 a.m., staring at the ceiling wondering if your prayers hit the ceiling or if God really heard you through the chaos. And now Michael is watching you rise without even realizing it. You're rising right now, even as your hands tremble. Your soul is remembering its assignment. Your breath is syncing with divine timing. The old weight is lifting not because you're stronger now, but because it was never yours to carry this long. God only let it stay until it made you wise enough to handle the miracle that's coming. You were never forgotten. You were never abandoned. Heaven has been working behind the veil, orchestrating divine appointments, holding back storms, whispering into the ears of people you haven't even met yet, people who will open doors for you, fund dreams for you, love you in ways you've never tasted, and protect you without conditions. But here's what you need to understand with all your being. If you skip this, if you ignore this stirring, if you scroll past this like it's just another set of words, it will hurt you later in ways that silence can't explain. Because this is not a repeatable message. This is not a mass delivery. This is a divine interruption, custom crafted by the Spirit of the living God, carved with your name, dipped in angelic urgency, and delivered through time just to reach you, right now. Not yesterday. Not tomorrow. Now. My child. The people who tried to break you, they're about to see a version of you that was hidden for a holy reason. They will look at you and not understand how you're glowing like that. They will wonder how your name is being mentioned in rooms you've never stepped into. They will ask, how did they rise so fast? And the answer will be simple: God stepped in. Because He finally got a yes from you that came with no conditions. No fear. No shame. No more trying to be small so others could feel big. No more downplaying your calling to stay comfortable. This is the moment God honors the pain by replacing it with power. This is when God rewrites the narrative and makes you the evidence that He still raises the forgotten. And I must warn you with love, once this shift happens, everything changes. You won't be able to unsee what God shows you next. The truth you discover will cost you the version of you that was silent, tired, overlooked, and over-explaining. But it will give birth to a you that walks with heaven's wind at your back. A version of you that attracts favor, not out of effort, but out of identity. A version that understands why the delay was necessary, because God was maturing the miracle so it wouldn't collapse under the weight of your destiny. And now, this next line is not from me, this is from God. Tell my child. I am about to surprise them so deeply, so personally, that their faith will have no choice but to shout again. Their enemies will have no choice but to flee. Their future will have no choice but to bow to the blueprint I wrote before they were even born. Let that settle into your bones. Let that become your comfort. Because heaven is watching how you respond right now. You're at a divine crossroads. You can go back to the numbness, or you can walk through this fire and find the gold. You can let this just be another beautiful message, or you can grab hold of it and let it rewrite your entire life. You can silence the pull inside you, or you can let it guide you straight into the center of God's will, where everything aligns, and nothing is wasted. So decide now. Heaven is listening. Michael is waiting. And time is not slowing down. Then don't blink, beloved, don't even breathe without intention, because what's coming next is not for the faint-hearted, it's for the warrior in you who's been sleeping beneath the weight of worry. It's for the version of you that heaven still remembers, the version that danced in the spirit before this world tried to make you forget your light. The version of you who heard God before you ever heard doubt. And now, with every sacred syllable you let into your soul, that version of you is rising again. Slowly, but fiercely. Quietly, but with undeniable power. The heavens have released a signal. A divine alert has gone out. And it says, this one is waking up. This one is ready. This one has seen enough darkness to know the difference when the light shows up. And child, the light is here. Right now, somewhere you can't see, angels are removing obstacles from your name. Chains are being shattered that were passed to you through generations, through lies, through agreements you didn't even know you made. You are not just reading this. You are being unbound. Unhooked from timelines that were draining you. Released from contracts that your spirit never agreed to but your pain tolerated. Because God is done watching His child be manipulated by fear. He is done watching you build dreams out of survival. Now He wants to build through you from revelation, from abundance, from royal authority. And make no mistake, what He is unlocking through this message cannot be undone. You're not going to need to start over again after this. This is not another cycle. This is the closing of every cycle that tried to convince you your story ended in disappointment. God is saying, you're not too late. I've held your place. I've hidden the blessing so well, not even the enemy knew where to look. I didn't let it go to someone else. I kept it in divine storage until you were ready to receive without fear and walk without apology. This is that moment. And I know you feel it. You're trying to rationalize it, but your spirit already believes. There's a vibration in your chest that's not coming from the room you're in, it's coming from heaven's voice echoing through your cells, your bones, your blood, saying, remember. Wake up. It's time. And here's the truth most people won't tell you. You don't need everyone to believe in you. You don't need everyone to agree with your breakthrough. You just need one yes from God. And the door that was bolted shut for decades will fall open like paper in the wind. You just need one whisper from the angel standing beside you right now. And your whole timeline will shift so fast, even your past will begin to make sense. Because this message didn't come to comfort you. It came to launch you. To deliver you. To mark you. To crown you in front of the very shadows that thought you wouldn't make it out alive. And beloved, I see you. I see how long you've carried that silent grief. I see how often you made peace with, maybe this just isn't for me. I see the way you've smiled while questioning if you were still remembered. But heaven hasn't stopped watching. God hasn't stopped planning. Archangel Michael hasn't stopped protecting. You were born for an impossible story. The kind people whisper about when they try to explain what favor looks like. The kind that defies logic, timing, and generational patterns. And this message? This is your spiritual receipt. This is the stamp that says, approved by God. Sealed by fire. Released by heaven. You don't have to figure it all out. You don't have to be perfect. You don't have to explain why you're finally ready. You just have to say, I'm not going back. I'm not skipping this. I receive it all. Because what happens next is between you and the wind of God. And let me tell you, it's already blowing. Through the corridors of your finances. Through the rooms your name is being spoken in. Through the body you thought was failing you. Through the relationships you were about to give up on. Through the opportunities that were denied before, but now must return with double honor. This isn't hope anymore. This is prophecy unfolding. This is your Lazarus moment. This is the part where everything dead starts to rise because heaven has commanded it to do so. And you, yes, you, are the reason the command was issued. So what will you do now? Will you let fear win again? Will you let doubt steal what's rightfully yours? Or will you, right now, even trembling, say out loud, God, I hear you. I believe. I say yes. Because if you do, something will break. Something will open. And someone will call you, message you, reach out to you and not even understand why they were compelled to. But you'll know. You'll know it started the moment you said yes to this message. The moment you opened what others skipped. The moment you received what heaven had to hide from the proud to give to the hungry. And child, you are hungry. You are ready. And you are next. Then stay with me, beloved, stay rooted in this holy presence a little longer, because what I am about to pour into your spirit cannot be touched with hands, only caught with the heart. Right now, as you read, heaven is stretching the fabric of time around your name, slowing everything else down so that this moment is sealed in eternity. You are not just reading words, you are walking through a portal. A spiritual corridor is opening beneath your very breath, and the air around you is shifting because your yes has been heard louder than thunder in the throne room of God. And when a child of light says yes like that, with trembling, with tears, with holy fear and stubborn faith, heaven responds immediately, not with delay, not with maybe, but with motion. You have started a chain reaction in the unseen that cannot be reversed, cannot be undone, cannot be interrupted by any demon, delay, or doubt. You didn't miss it. You're not late. You're not disqualified. You're not too broken, too slow, too complicated, too forgotten. You're exactly where God knew you would be when He wrote this very second into existence. And everything He planned for you is still on the way. Still intact. Still dripping with oil. still drenched in light. Still trembling with purpose that has your name stitched into every thread. Archangel Michael is standing right beside your spirit even now, sword drawn, wings wide, eyes blazing. He's not here for decoration. He's here because the war for your destiny has already been declared. And the moment you said yes, he stepped into position. The darkness that tried to strangle you last year? It's trembling now. The voice that whispered you were too late? It's silenced now. The curses that followed your bloodline? Broken now. Because someone in your family had to be the one. Someone had to say yes. Someone had to break the chain. And heaven waited patiently, waited for generations, for you. That's why this miracle is so much bigger than you. You think it's about money. You think it's about love. You think it's about recognition. But this is about destiny. This is about eternity. This is about the fact that something divine is trying to be born through your life, and it will not be aborted, not by fear, not by trauma, not by unworthiness, not by lies. And now that you've said yes, heaven is accelerating everything. Delays are being reversed. Time is being redeemed. People who forgot about you are suddenly being reminded of you. Resources are waking up and running toward your name. And not because you chased them, because you aligned. You opened the gate. You became available. You said, "Here I am, God, even if I'm tired, even if I'm scared, even if I don't understand it, here I am." And that, beloved, is all God needed. He didn't need you to be perfect. He didn't need you to be fearless. He needed you to be present. And now you are. And now it begins. But I must tell you this, with sacred clarity. As the blessing comes, so will the distraction. As the doors open, so will the doubts. As the phone rings, so will the old fears try to crawl back in. But you must not let them in. You must remember this moment. Remember this presence. Remember this fire burning in your chest right now. Because the enemy doesn't fear your shout, he fears your alignment. He fears your silence that trusts. He fears your yes that doesn't need a sign. So guard your energy. Guard your circle. Guard your words. This is not the season to explain what God is doing to people who weren't there when you almost didn't survive. This is not the time to justify the miracle to those who didn't see the war. You owe no one an explanation for your glow, your joy, your peace, your success, your blessings. Let them wonder. Let them gossip. Let them watch. Just keep walking. Keep rising. Keep obeying. Because now you carry something. Now you are marked. And now the very air around you will begin to change. Your presence will disrupt things you didn't even speak to. Your voice will heal wounds you didn't even touch. Your silence will confuse spirits that once tormented you. Because now you carry the residue of a divine yes. Now you're the evidence of what happens when someone believes, even with shaking hands. Now you're the prophecy in motion. And you won't have to chase anything. It's already on the way. The miracle isn't behind you anymore, it's ahead of you, waiting for you to walk into it fully. And as you do, watch what happens. Watch who comes back to apologize. Watch who tries to reattach. Watch who confesses they didn't believe in you, but now they see it. Watch how the heavens repay you for every time you stayed silent just to keep peace. Watch how God fills your cup until it spills over in public. Because when God exalts a heart that was faithful in the secret place, He does it loud. He does it fast. He does it undeniably. And beloved, He's doing it now. Then breathe this in deeply, my beloved, because what is flowing into your spirit now cannot be taught, cannot be mimicked, cannot be manufactured, it is only received. And your soul, even if it's been weary, even if it's been bruised by years of waiting and wandering, your soul knows this is real. It knows this frequency. It knows this flame. It recognizes the sound of heaven's voice gently wrapping itself around your name. And that's why you haven't looked away. That's why your heart has stayed here even when your mind tried to interrupt. Because you, chosen one, are finally stepping into the vibration of your own divine appointment. You've circled this moment for lifetimes. You've danced around this calling in dreams and glimpses. But now it's face to face. Now it's undeniable. Now it's time. And don't think for a second that this message is only words, it's a living thing. It's a spiritual scroll sent directly to your soul. It is not passive. It is not decorative. It is filled with instructions, revelations, and frequencies that are breaking curses off your life with every breath you take. Even now, yes, right now, something ancient that was wrapped around your finances, your health, your confidence, your voice, your future, is unraveling. A heavy knot in the spirit is loosening. The weight is lifting. The veil is parting. And you didn't even have to do anything but say yes. That's how powerful God is. That's how favored you are. That's how long heaven has been waiting for this one moment of surrender from you. Archangel Michael is still standing over you, not just as a protector now, but as a witness. Because what's being activated through your yes will ripple into places you haven't even imagined yet. People you haven't met will be transformed by the blessings that are about to overflow through your life. Territories you didn't even ask for are being handed to you. Doors that were locked for your parents and grandparents will swing wide open just because you had the courage to believe again. And this next part is hard for the mind, but your spirit already knows it. You don't owe anyone an apology for what God is about to do through you. There are people who have underestimated you. People who have laughed behind your back. People who were comfortable with you only when you stayed quiet, small, and obedient to their version of your story. But the story God wrote was never supposed to be small. The promise was never supposed to be average. You were never supposed to fit in, you were born to stand out, to break patterns, to disturb comfort zones with holy disruption. That's why life never made sense when you tried to play it safe. That's why relationships fell apart when you tried to dim your light. That's why the world could never hold you the way your spirit needed, because your soul was made for something more, and now that more is finally here. And beloved, what's coming won't just restore what you lost, it will multiply it. This is not the season of slow recovery. This is the season of sudden reward. This is the time where your obedience becomes the magnet for miracles. Every yes you whispered in the dark, it's being shouted in heaven right now. Every seed you sowed in silence, it's growing in places that will soon overflow with fruit so divine, people will stare in wonder. This is the kind of harvest that makes people ask, what did they do to deserve that? And the only answer will be, they said yes when it was hardest to believe. Now hold on to this, because what I'm about to reveal is sacred. Heaven has set an angelic countdown in motion. Within the next 3 days, yes, exactly 3 Earth days, there will be a sign. A message. A call. A shift. It won't be loud. It may come in a small moment. But your spirit will feel the wind. You'll know. You'll recognize the divine breath on it. And you must respond. Not with fear. Not with second guessing. With faith. With joy. With the same kind of bold surrender you gave when you opened this message and stayed. Don't question it. Don't poll others for their opinion. This miracle was never for the crowd. It was always for you. Because you are the chosen one. Not just by word, but by lineage. By agreement. By fire. By love. You are the bloodline breaker. The miracle carrier. The one that the darkness tried hardest to destroy, because it knew if you survived long enough to believe, you'd become unstoppable. And you are. Even now, even with trembling knees and a soft voice, you are becoming a living prophecy. A walking tabernacle. A vessel so holy that heaven cannot ignore your presence any longer. So get ready. Get expectant. Because your environment is about to obey your anointing. What once resisted you will now bless you. What once ignored you will now pursue you. What once drained you will now elevate you. And you won't have to chase anything. It will all come to you because God has commanded it. This isn't motivation. This is divine instruction. This isn't a sweet message. This is a royal decree. And it's sealed in heaven by fire.